Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex and an Athlete. Today, we have a man of many, many talents, but today we'll be mainly focusing on his Spartan races and his terrain races. This guy just loves to run, I guess. So I want to welcome everybody. Nico Abiera, how you doing?
I'm good. How's it going, Alex?
Oh, it's going good. And it's been a weird year, but I can't say it hasn't been productive at least. So
true. Very true.
How about
true.
you? How's your 2020 I guess the dark year?
It's a little as far as racing. Oh man, it's canceled, Big old word. Everything's canceled this year. And oh man, they really tried putting on these events this year, and they couldn't combat COVID.
Yeah. Unless you're one of these main professional sports, you had no shot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, there's no way you can control the amount of people that they had in these races. You can't really do the whole, 6 feet distance. I mean, they really tried. They tried their hardest, and it wasn't happening.
You would have to have 2-man races on each side of the track.
Right. I mean, it's devastating because there's so many people that were going to be first time racers this year. I mean, 2020, well, everyone went into 2020 thinking this is our year, and it wasn't.
I mean, unless you're one of these main corporations, it really was not your year.
Right.
And it's tough to see. But, hey, most pandemics only last 18 months, if you look at history. So we're almost through it.
What, another half a year?
11. So, yeah, when the whole thing started, I kind of guessed that next summer things would start opening up again, like getting more back towards normal. But obviously with the permanent, changes that will be imminent.
Right.
But hey, we just got to band together and get through it together. We're all in this thing, and we're all on a spaceship spinning out in space, and we don't need to fight each other. We got other things we need to fight. So
all about surviving. Just survive the year, and if it's really another 6 more months, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So
oh yeah, I mean, nothing lasts forever, so we'll figure it out. But hey, so let's get into it. So how have you been? How has everything else been going on? What have you been up to these days?
Oh man, let's see. I mean, the last time we haven't seen each other really seen each other since high school, and it's been 12 years, I want to say,
at least.
And I mean, right out of high school, I just started doing theater and doing a lot of musical theater, and got into my acting, and pretty much it's just been a constant grind ever since, just auditioning and landing some smaller film roles and just kind of building up upon that. And it's really just that's just been the grind ever since, and it's paying off. I've gotten a few films underneath my belt. I just landed a role in an animation series that's coming out next year.
Ooh,
So
can't wait for it.
It's working, man. It's going.
Awesome. So that's good. I mean, you've been productive. I mean, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How many people from our school can really say that they're actors?
That's very true. I mean, I look back and there's not that many. There's, maybe a couple, maybe 2, maybe.
Yeah. You're in small company. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so what films have you been in? So that way people know we can go check them out.
Well, so I landed my first lead. It's called Fireflies in Gloaming. And what's crazy is we filmed this in 2016 and we wrapped, I think, March 2017. And it's been in post-production ever since. It was supposed to release the end of that year, and it just kept getting, that's how post works, just kept getting pushed back. And Then it was going to be released this year, and then COVID shut it down. And it was like, dude, we were so close. We were so close. And it's going to be once it's out, it's going to go on Amazon Prime. So
Perfect. So the name of it was Gloom of
Fireflies in Gloaming.
Fireflies in Glooming. Awesome.
For those people who don't know what gloaming is, that's when the sun goes down, but it's still light outside.
Oh, nice. I like that. About time I get a random fact on my end here.
Yeah.
So awesome. So what were the other I guess you'd say supporting roles?
A lot of it, let me see. It was called, there's a film called Cardinal X. I think it changed its name to like MDMA. It was mostly, it started off a lot of extra work. So these weren't really that big a deal. So it's really just like, hey, I was that guy that you saw walking, or like I was in Bumblebee and they cut me out.
Oh,
I was like behind Haley Steinfeld when she was working at the hot dog stand, just smaller roles. I can't think of them right now, but they're really just extra work. But the lead one, I'm like waiting on. Oh, actually, I'm so dumb. There's people. You ever heard of Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks, yep.
Like that old show. So I just wrapped a film, a fan film. It's kind of how do I not give anything away? Let's say it's a younger version of the main character in Twin Peaks.
Okay.
I guess it's sort of a prequel, but it kind of jumps around. Let's just say that. It's called Queen of Hearts, and we just wrapped it maybe like 8 months ago. No, like 6 months ago. And it's actually gonna come out, I think, February.
February. Awesome. I can't wait. Let me put a note there. Let people know that they can keep a lookout for it.
Cool.
Awesome. So well, let's get into a little bit about your racing. So tell me, I know we were Seaside Spartans, but at the same time, what made you start doing Spartan races?
It's the funniest thing. It was this was back in 2013. I kind of felt that acting was, I wouldn't say I was at a low point, but like acting was kind of just, it was my career at the time and it still is, but I felt like I needed something else, something that people knew me for. I needed something else on my resume, I guess. And I had like this hunger to do something athletic, more athletic than, I used to do a lot of parkour and free running in high school, but I love to do obstacles. We all grew up watching Ninja Warrior and, all those shows. So I was just randomly on Facebook in 2013 and there's a Spartan race ad. And I'm like, whoa, like didn't think nothing of it. Didn't even click on it. I was like, all right, whatever that is. A couple days later, that ad came back up and I was like, you know what? I need to, let me just look into this. Let me see what this is about. And I clicked on it and it was like, all right, read up on it, run through obstacles. There's 3 different races, how many miles, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, for some reason, I need to do this. Like, for some odd reason, I was like, I need to do this race. And so I just signed up and I grabbed my best friend, my dad, and another friend, and we're like, yo, let's do this race. It's actually coming to Monterey for the first time, so it's right in our backyard. Let's do it. And it was a beast, which is the third. There's like 3 levels: a sprint, which is 4 miles, a super, which is 8, and a beast, which is like 14 plus. So Monterey just happened to be the beast. They always say start with the small, and I dove right into the big one. And we just, yeah, right. And we just freaking, went in that day and put in work, and just, I had the time of my life. And I was like, this needs to be shared. Like other people need to know about this. And it just kind of skyrocketed from there.
I mean, not only is it physically demanding, but just how visually intimidating is it when you're just starting your first time standing there at the start line?
You get so like, you get so nervous and you get so amped. It's like your first anything, your first fight, your first you know, getting in front of a live audience, or even like go back to high school, you're in a rally for the first time. Anytime you're in front of people, it's that scared feeling, and you're just like, you're excited, but you're really nervous. And they tell you to look at everybody on your left and look at everybody on your right. And the announcer's just going off, and the energy is all there. And as soon as they say go, you just let it all go. And it's so intimidating though.
I bet. So, walk me through a typical Spartan race. So, what happens from start to finish?
So you start at the finish, the finish line. Yeah. You start at the start, and
I wish.
right. They say go, and basically you have, let's say, like 50 people in your wave. And they try to put less obstacles in the first part, so that way they can spread out the herd a bit. All the fast people probably make it to the front. So they spread out the herd, and they put, I don't know, maybe some little hurdles in the beginning, nothing too rough. And then you get to maybe a 6-foot wall. Then they spread it out for another mile. Depending on how many miles you're doing that day, they actually don't balance out obstacles between miles. Like if you have 4-mile race, maybe you have like 17 obstacles. They could slam you with 3 obstacles, and then you won't see another obstacle for maybe like a mile and a half. They don't really even it out, because they want to keep you on your toes. They want you to feel like, when is this next obstacle coming? You just keep running and running, and you get like maybe half mile in, maybe you get like the first water station. And then you get to the harder obstacles maybe halfway through, and that's where people slowly start to bow out. They if they fail an obstacle, you have to do 30 burpees. And that's where it starts to, separate everybody from the people that are trying to compete and the people that are just there to have fun, which is totally
experience.
Fun. Exactly.
Having the experience.
I mean, so it's pretty much, you get hit with the hard obstacles from halfway in and on, and it's just a sprint to the finish, basically.
Yeah, like you said, it's just something you gotta do when the opportunity presents itself. That sounds fun. That's like a mix of Ninja Warrior, marathons, and that just sounds fun. So, some of the harder obstacles, are they like those cargo nets? Maybe 10-foot walls. What are some of the kind of harder obstacles?
For me, it's always, I've been a little guy since elementary. I have not. I'm still thin to this day.
I'm with you.
No, you're super strong. Don't even.
Well, I'm still super small.
That's true.
That's why I fought at 125 pounds.
Yeah.
No heavyweight.
I would say the hardest obstacles when I first started there's something called the Hercules hoist. And at the time they had about, I want to say it was like 180, maybe borderline 200 pounds. Kind of like it was a hoist over a pole up top. And you had to be behind a fence and, pull it all the way up with just your strength. And that, for me, the first race, I couldn't even get it a foot off the ground. It was nuts. It weighed more than I did. So, there was no way I could do it. We even tried, 2 of us. I don't know if it was just super heavy back then, because now it's no problem. I could do it, But mostly the strength obstacles would get me back then. It was those the hardest. And also there, like you said, probably the 9-foot wall. Like if you don't have a running start to that, or somebody to throw you up there, you could be there for a good like 15, 20 minutes just trying to get over it.
I mean, every time that you try to get over it, it's just taxing on your body, and then it gets harder and harder and harder to do. But
yeah.
So how was it like the first time you actually got past that obstacle, literally and metaphorically, the obstacle that kind of held you back?
it felt great because it was very good that I used to parkour and free run. It helped so much. And I think that's my mindset went in was like, you're here because you really want to climb these obstacles. You want to power through these. And oh man, the feeling of I actually sat on top of that 9 foot wall for a good like minute just to look around and be like, I'm here. Like, this is awesome. This is wow,
Just take in that sense of accomplishment.
hmm
I mean, there's very few things in life that feel better than just conquering something,
Yep.
if it's, especially if you lost to it before, and just
hmm
coming back and redeem the redemption, I guess. I mean, look at all these movies that we all love. Most of them are about redemption, right?
Yep.
So, so that's awesome. So 9 foot walls, man. I just sit there and just have a picnic. I don't even know if I tried to jump it.
Nah, you could do it. Nah, it sounds scarier than it is. Nah, we need to get you in a race.
We
That's what we
do.
need to do.
Yeah. I just yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I'd do it. I'll actually be moving back to Monterey very soon. So next time when they open it up, man, you might have to drag me along for the small one. I'm gonna start
Hey,
small and work big.
nah, we definitely well, I think Monterey started changing it to they had two on the weekends, and it was the mid level one was on a Saturday, and then the Tyner one was on a Sunday. I think we should start you with the middle one though, because
Yeah.
I think if we get you in the small one, you're gonna do it too quick, and you're gonna be like, oh, that was it. We're done already. No, I think
Yeah.
let's go with the mid one.
I just need to. Man, I can't remember the last time I ran 8 miles.
Dude, actually, but don't even think about that because honestly, people think that I'm some badass runner. And honestly, I'm one of those people that are there for the experience and there to like share and bring people into the sport and see how they flourish. Cause I'm more of like, I want to build better people,
Mhm.
and I want to show people that they have something inside them that they might not know is there. So I don't even run these races. Half these races, unless I'm actually trying to compete, which is very rare, um, I just kind of light jog. Sometimes most of the time I'll just walk and help other people through the obstacles. Like that's don't even trip about trying to run 8 miles because nah,
Mhm.
you're good.
I'm a very competitive person. No.
Exactly. No, but see, if you wanted to compete,
I'm
I'd be
trying to
like,
win.
hell yeah. I'd be like, Alex, you go on. Nah, and that's the thing. We go in, we talk to each other with the team. We're like, yo, if you guys want to stick together, that's great. If you want to compete and get your best time, like that's great too. Like you need to do what you need to do and see how badly like you can take on this course. So hell
Yeah, I
yeah, I'll be
mean,
like,
it's all about
Alex, we're gonna start together and then shit, I'll see you at the finish line. You go ahead.
right. No, I mean, even like you said, I do it more for the experience. My competitive days in sports are almost behind me. Once you get up to where I got in martial arts, it's your body just hurts, and it's
Yeah.
like I would love to do something like a Spartan race just to kind of feel that fire a little bit, and also motivate, to
Yeah.
keep in better shape and to do more,
Oh,
because
definitely.
it's easy to get lazy and get content. It's another thing to make sure that you keep it a lifestyle.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so that would be something fun because it has to be fun, or you're
Oh
not going to
yeah.
want to do it. You're going to dread it.
Mm-hmm.
So, an obstacle course sounds fun to me every single time. I'll military crawl under the barbed wire in the mud, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll do whatever just because it's like, hey, let me push myself. And
Exactly.
so you're definitely gonna have to take me on your next one. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, you already said it, so it's done deal. Like you have no choice now.
Yeah, I signed the waiver, doc.
Exactly.
uh, so awesome. So how many of them have you done?
Ooh. Hmm. I have a wall. I would say like maybe 40, maybe
Awesome.
give or take a few. I mean, they're there's those 3 levels, like I told you, the sprint, super, and beast, but there's actually a couple different ones, like specialty races, I guess. There's the ultra beast, which used to be about 26 to 30 miles. It was like 2 laps of the beast, basically. There is what they call a hurricane heat. It's kind of like it's like boot camp. So you're in like groups of maybe 4, and there's crypteas, which are kind of like the instructors, and they pass you off to group or to instructor, and you do like basically boot camp activities and camaraderie stuff, a lot of team building exercises. And there's like 3 different levels to that. There's a 4-hour hurricane heat, a 12-hour, and a 24-hour. Yeah, dude, it's brutal. Like I got stories for about ultra beasts and hurricane heats, but I have never done a 24-hour hurricane heat. I will never do that.
Yeah,
I'm good.
that's pretty extreme. That's the ultimate test right there. But who knows? Maybe one day, we'll both get suckered into one.
Nah, I did. They did the first ever Ultra Beast championship in 2017, and they did it in Iceland. And I was like, I think that's my like, I was kind of like, I was gonna make it my retired race, or I was gonna retire after the race, my last race, I guess. And I was just gonna go strictly into bringing people into the sport. And then I actually went there, and it was the first race that I failed. It was the right? Oh man, it was the first race I had ever not finished. It was a 24-hour race, and you had to do the minimum of 30 miles, and I think I did maybe, I want to say like 17, and the weather just took me out. I was like snowed on, rained on, hailed on, and I was completely drenched. And I was like, all right, if I keep going, hypothermia is going to set in and I'm going to be worse off. So
Mhm.
I definitely like left that country in such a sad way. But like
Yeah.
you said earlier, you're talking about redemption. And it was funny because a year later, they had the same race there. They're like, all right, guys, like we're going to Iceland one more time. And I went back and I told myself that if I don't complete this race, like I'm not coming back home. And I crushed the 2018 Ultra Beast Championship. And it was nuts.
There you go. I mean, like, the hardest thing in life is to face your fears and face
Mhm.
things that make you uncomfortable. Change. Like, you're a beach boy. You grew up on the beach pretty much, and you're at sea level,
Mhm.
beautiful weather year round, and then to go to a snow covered wonderland
Right.
and do one of the most intense things you ever done in your life. And then to be like, okay, yeah, that was hard. And then
Mhm.
just have that mindset to be like, you know what? I could do better. I I could finish it this time. And that
Yep.
mental toughness carrying you through. Oh, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
So how does it work? Is it like so many first to finish gets the gold, or is it just by completion? How does kind of like how do you judge a competition?
So there's actually, I think there's 3 different categories. There is the elites, who they run first, and those are the people that are like they're competing for the big money. They're competing for sponsorships and all that. They run first, so the course is all untouched, and there's not mud on certain obstacles that could like mess them up. So elite men are first, I should say, and then elite women go, and then there's the um, competitive wave, which they race for kind of like a point system and for bragging rights. They don't really get any of the money, but they have a scoreboard for them. And then there's the open wave, who they're just there because they want the experience, they want to have fun, they want to whatever their reason may be, that's where they're at. And
Oh, okay.
it's pretty much you can sign up. I think the elites are more expensive, and competitive is a little more expensive because you start earlier, and so the open wave is like kind of like the sloppy seconds of the course.
Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's you got to pay the winner somehow, right?
Right, exactly. I mean,
You're basically literally betting on yourself. It's
mhm.
and I mean, what else is motivating you besides, sometimes people just love financial gain. How can you not?
And they definitely love the recognition. There's like, it's funny because you go into these races and you don't realize that there's a whole, I mean, probably with everything, there's a whole separate world that you're stepping into, and you realize that wasn't even there. You're just like, holy crap! Like, they have their own set of celebrities. They have their own Spartan team. That's just a whole different world that a lot of people don't
Exactly.
know is here.
Well, at the same time, I mean, you can do that with a lot of things. It's like we have
Right.
so many little micro universes inside
Hmm.
of micro universes. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, like you join a sports team and then you start playing that sport and you're like, okay, well, I didn't even know that this kind of thing existed where it gives me this kind of these feelings and
Hmm.
whether they're good, bad, happy, scared, it doesn't matter. It's a new experience. And then boom, you go do acting and per se. And then it's like, okay, wow, I didn't even know like how this side of the universe I knew it existed, but and then it's like, oh, okay, so this is what it's like. And
Right.
and
The
those
ins and outs of
experiences,
everything.
yeah, and those experiences, it's that's what that's what life's about. Is just experiencing as most experiences as you can get.
Yeah.
It's yeah, like I didn't understand martial art world until I really got into it. And then I was like, oh, this is different. This is not like TV. This
Yeah.
is hard. And so
This hurts.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you think you could do everything they do until you try to do it. And
Yeah.
then you try to do it against someone else who's in the same boat as you, who's been training and all this and all that. And then it pushes you in different ways that you didn't know that you could be pushed.
Yep.
And it, everything is just it's all its own universe inside of this big planet, inside of this solar system, inside of this, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Hmm.
Amazing. So, uh, what was the highest, uh, I guess you level you competed at in these races? Did you go all the way up to elite?
No, I've ran elite maybe twice, and they're just there are inhuman people in this sport. I mean, you see them at the start line and you never see them again. They finish the course in like, let's say it's a 4 mile course. They finish it in maybe like 22 minutes. You know,
Oh,
they're gone. I mean, that's obstacles and all. And I couldn't compete with that. And I was, it started off as the hunger for the experience, and then it just evolved into pulling everybody in. And I think at one point I was really trying to compete because if you finished top 5 in your age group, you got a chance at the world championship OCR in Canada. And I think I finished the course, a 4 mile course in like 38 minutes. But I
solid.
ended up being, yeah, but I thought I was, gonna be in that top. And I actually started at like, I think I got 4th. And then by the end of the day, I got shot up to maybe like 22nd. And I was like, all right, well, I
Oh,
tried.
I mean, hey, it's so hard to be elite at anything. I
Hmm.
mean, how many world class people are there in the world? Like, it's a small percentage.
Yeah.
Like, just how many Hussein Bolts? How, it's like just there can only be one record holder.
Right.
So
And
it's
like,
like how far up the ladder do you need to be to satisfy yourself is really the question.
yeah. And these are the people that like this is what they do. They run these sports for a living. And I'm like, that's great. I don't think I could do that.
Hmm.
But that's awesome. But it was just like it was so hard to compete with them, and you know,
I mean, do you sit back and think about the kind of work and dedication and breathe
hmm
this in, breathe this out mentality that they have had to have for how long to be
right,
able to get to that level? And it's like you said, if it's not paying the bills, it's tough to dedicate that
right,
24/7 mentality to it. You got to be
hmm
all in, and a lot of people can't be all in.
right.
So would you say that you were comfortable at the competitive level then?
Yeah, I was pretty good at the competitive level. Like that's where my niche was, and as I guess as the races evolved, I kind of dropped more into the open just because my mentality wasn't like, this isn't what I want to pay bills with. This isn't what like I want to be. This is not what my life wants to just be revolved around, but I wanted to get everybody to just experience it and be like, you know what, maybe somebody else will feel differently. Like maybe somebody else will run elite and they'll, this is find their passion, I
Yeah,
wanted to
do
show
some
people
bigger,
another
better
door.
things,
hmm
and that's awesome. I mean, like true ambassador of the sport. You know,
Exactly. You know,
I- it's at a certain point, it's like you become a vet and you understand what it's about, and it's about growing and making
hmm
sure that this this fantastic thing stays alive.
right. And the best thing is I actually started a team. We're called Team Persona. And I think the greatest gift that I got from that is the people that we kept roping into this sport. Um, we actually have like a lot of success stories from our team. Like one of our team members, he, used to be on antidepressants for so long. And when he started to get into the sport, he started working out, he started getting into the lifestyle of it and competing and traveling. He's been off of antidepressants for now like maybe 4 or 5 years, and he's like felt better than he ever has. Like we got a girl who, I adopted like my little protege. She started killing the races and she ended up winning her age group. uh Now she's actually studying to be a health coach, and she's a trainer now, and she was never going to go in that direction before. Her dad actually lost so much weight, and he was a diabetic. Now he's completely in remission now.
Amazing.
It's like, I guess that's my takeaway, is just seeing everybody's success flourish from there, and that's like the best feeling in the world.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I mean, that's the one thing that no one does anymore, I feel like, is promote a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
It's too quick, it's too easy, it's too cheap financially to just destroy your body in a sense.
right.
But all the things that, really benefit you, you either got to pay in time, energy, or effort,
hmm
or money. So it's just to get someone out of that mindset that think that they have to be this way because it's the only way they can be or they've known. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, literally health benefits.
hmm Health benefits and you're having fun is like, that's like hand in hand. It's hard to
hmm
do.
So, so what? Tell me a little bit about Team Persona.
Wha- it's funny because we're just, a lot of it was, I started with pulling actors in, people that never thought that they were ever going to do anything physical like this. And a lot of them just became trail runners. They became fitness people. Like, I mean, people that never worked out are now working out like 5 days a week. People that were, heavy set have lost half their body weight. It's just, we're just a bunch of regular Joes, it's
That just found motivation through other
mhm,
people and inspiration.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, do you guys have like logos, any merch, anything like that?
We I was really hard on pushing all that. Maybe with the first couple years, we had like our team shirts. We would show up to the events with our shirts, and people were like, yo, this is before people actually had like team merchandise and stuff like that at the races.
Mhm.
And, people would see our group of like 16 walk and be like, oh, hey, that's cool.
Right.
But we don't
I
really
want a
have
shirt.
yeah, right. We don't really have like any merchandise or anything, but it's kind of slowly, I think with this whole COVID thing, it's kind of demoralized people as far as like racing. But
Mhm.
everyone's kind of, I don't know, branching out into newer things now. So I wouldn't say the team's like completely done, but there's still maybe like 10 people that are consistent with racing. But everybody in that was drawn in kind of like took their experiences with the racing and kind of just branched out into what they really wanted to do.
And that's the thing about this 2020 is either people have used it to kind of sit back and maybe hide, or I don't want to say hide, but kind of just take a step back and just uh, reevaluate, either in a positive way. Some
Right.
people have not been able to handle it well at all.
Hmm.
And, it really just completely shows you the different mentalities that people have. I knew, like, a lot of people use 2020 to just abandon everything and start fresh.
Yeah.
And, but whenever they did that, they didn't start. They stayed at the start line and just kind of sat down.
Yeah.
But some people used it as motivation, and we're already halfway through the race. Um, I mean, as weird as it is to say, I mean, I've had a great 2020.
Yeah.
Outside of having to adjust to the new protocols, and making sure, extra sure that staying safe.
Hmm.
I kept grinding, and I kept motivating myself and found ways to adapt. And one of the hardest things for people to do is to adapt to new circumstance.
Right.
But like Bob Dylan said, time better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. The times are changing. Um, and so it's a tough transition for some, and for some people, when you figure it out, you can take full advantage.
Hmm.
And I think, a lot of good things are going to come from this. And once it's going to motivate people. So once everything starts opening up, they're going to be so excited just to go do something. And
Right.
those are the people you're really going to be able to draw in. I mean, I'm excited, and I haven't even looked at a race before. I'm like, okay, now I got to do one.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to see this mug out there, and I'll
Dude,
let you know how it is.
you're gonna love it. And you know what, you might even get hooked because, and that's what happens, their first race, they're like, oh, I don't know, okay, this could be fun. And then the minute it's over, they're like, all right, when's the next one? Like, where are we gonna go? I traveled to so many different states. Probably, you know, if I didn't race there, I probably wouldn't have gone there in the first place. It,
Exactly.
it's just, it leads to a whole bunch of bigger and different things.
A lot more opportunities,
Hmm.
a lot more networking, people to meet. You
Yes.
never know. Maybe your next employer may have been someone that you raced along with and helped them through it. Maybe it's your future wife. Maybe it's your future husband. It doesn't matter. You may find something that you never knew. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. And like, it's funny that you say that. Is meeting people is like, it doesn't not happen. Like, when you go to a race, I guess that's the energy that's there. Because let's say you're winded and you're like, you have to like sit down in the race. Almost everybody that walks past you will check up on you. Like, everyone there is so positive and so supportive. Like, everyone wants to see everyone succeed, and to be surrounded by that is an amazing feeling. And you just make friends along your races. And like you said, like the networking, I've met people in other races that have traveled from Texas, from the East Coast, and all of them are like, you know what, if there's a race here, you have a bed to stay here. And I'm like, that's crazy. I could go to a whole bunch of different states that I've never been in and I already have a place to stay. Like, that's nuts.
And I mean, it really truly is just a sense of community. And
Hmm.
and whenever you go through these shared experience, it doesn't matter what it is. You can't not enjoy talking to other people who are like-minded, because if you're
Hmm.
doing the same thing, you're obviously, have some similarities in the way that you perceive things.
Hmm.
Everyone's a complete individual, but there's a lot of overlapping that goes on with a lot of people, and you would never know that unless you tried to experience something. I
Definitely.
remember wrestling tournaments, especially the state tournaments and stuff. It's people from all over California, and you can't leave one of those places where it's everyone packed into a tight gym like a rally and screaming, and then you start talking to people sometimes. They start
Hmm.
talking to you and you end up enjoying it, and then you got lifelong friends. And that's
Yep.
just in one room inside of a place. Now you do it across the entire state. Now you do it across the entire country. Now you do it in all the other countries. It's like
Right.
there's billions of people in this world. So it's like you're going to find some people that you really like and get along with. You're
Yeah.
going to find some that you hate too, but and there's probably a lot more of those than there are the ones that you truly enjoy, but that's just another thing that really makes you treasure those connections,
Yeah.
and that's just amazing. So, oh man, was Greenland the only place you traveled to that was, I guess, outside the country?
Yeah, so far, or Iceland.
Iceland.
Um, I wish they did one in Greenland because apparently it's colder there.
Mm,
Oh, I don't know, but I think that was definitely my first and only international place to go.
awesome. Have you ever traveled outside the U.S. besides that?
No, but I really want to. I mean, and that was just the starting point, and then COVID.
Right. Where would you go?
Oh man, Japan for sure, definitely Japan. Um,
The main reason I'd want to go to Japan is just the respect. Everyone respects each other there. It seems
yeah,
like here it's like everyone just don't care about each other, and it's like you said, it feels like such disconnect from a community.
yeah,
And I mean, and that's not true in every place, but in a lot of places, it seems like there's just more division than there is unification.
yeah. I would say where else? I mean, I want to go to New Zealand. There's so many places I'd love to go, and we can Google them all we want, but it's nothing like being there.
I remember I went for my fight in Utah, and at the time, I didn't even know Utah was like the third highest elevation in the United States. Um, so, but I went and I saw uh, the Salt Lake patties, you know,
Yeah.
and so we got out. I actually went and touched the patties. I took a little salt ball, ate it, salty. uh, and so, it's like, because yeah, you could just drive by it. You could just look at a picture of it, but what's it like?
Hmm.
I could tell you what it tastes like. I could tell you how it feels. I could
Yeah.
tell you also what it looks like. So you kind of get more of that 3D experience. And it's
Right.
like, would you rather watch like a Avengers movie on regular big screen, or do you want to watch it on IMAX
Yeah.
or in 3D? It's like, yeah, there's just levels to the game.
Hmm.
So the higher level you can get, the better.
Definitely.
If I had to travel anywhere, I think I would have to go see the Northern Lights in person.
Oh, dude, I will tell
They're
you that
on.
I was so looking forward to that, and that's been on my list to like see ever since I was a kid. I went and I didn't see it twice. Iceland, they never showed up ever. And I was so mad. So mad.
That's just horrible. Because
Yeah.
it's like, you were there. You were
Mhm.
there. Show yourself.
I mean, they were like, yeah, it's December and they should be out more, in the winter. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was the
Perfect.
first time. Yeah, exactly. The first time I was there for only a short time because work almost didn't give it to me. I was
Mhm.
there for maybe like 3, maybe 4 days. And then so when I went back the second time, I went back for at least like 8 or 9 days and nothing, no lights ever. So disappointed.
That was
It just
my
means I
that
have to
was
go a
my
third
fear.
time.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little fun fact about me. I still have never been on an airplane.
What? You've
Not
never been on an
even
airplane.
not even a short flight.
You drove
Only
everywhere?
yeah. Me and my family took a road trip to Oklahoma. So that's probably the furthest I've been out of the United States. I was gonna take a flight to Chicago. I was supposed to fight on a King of the Cage pay-per-view and ended up getting 4 tears in my knee in a training camp. So
Oh,
yeah, they told me that you're not even throwing a kick for 9 months. So I was back
damn.
training within 3,
Oh, of course you were.
and then I had another one, and yeah, that one fell through. The opponents kept backing out and stuff. So uh, you know, couldn't catch a
I
break on that one. But I was supposed to be in Chicago, and me being a big Chicago Bears fan, I was gonna go see the stadium. I was gonna go eat all the deep dish,
yeah.
but never came to fruition. The furthest I went was Utah after that. So uh, different kind of place. I'll tell you, Utah is just a different vibe. Uh, a lot more lethargic slash robotic kind of
So
people. It seems like we tried to give this lady who was our server at the time at the restaurant. We tried to give her a tip, and she was just like, I don't know what to do with it.
what?
And everyone just kind of seemed shy, I guess is a good word for it. And it was
Like
just
more
a
like
culture.
a reclusive?
Hmm. Exactly. And it was just kind of a culture shock for me because being in California, everybody got an opinion in California and they make sure you hear it.
Yeah, oh
So,
yeah.
uh, so yeah, I mean, but also, I, the thing about the road trip was that I got to experience every town I passed. I mean, like I went in a hot tub in Arizona. I saw an indoor cooled pool instead of a heated pool. I seen a plastic trash can just completely melt in Las Vegas. Uh, I ate at the Golden Corral in the Hat of Texas, you know, and
Yeah.
that's just certain things that you can't do with a flight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
I'll agree
how
to that.
how quick do you need to get there, and how much time do you have is the question. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not trying to drive 17 hours in a hurry.
Oh God. Yeah, you don't. Oh God, those those trips are probably the worst when it's like, all right, well, I have to leave work now and I have to be there by, so and so time. So we got to drive 12 hours straight here. And it's like, do we really have to?
Mhm. And you do.
Yeah. And you still do it. You still do it.
And you get home, you complain about it, but then you're just like, oh, that was so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause then you end up getting like those experiences that, you don't see coming, but they happen.
Hmm. But I mean, it's also like you miss the experience of like looking at everything from the aerial view and just
Hmm.
understanding the fact that you're trusting engineering right now at the highest level. You're trusting the greatest minds and the people who put them together to and every time that plane takes off and lands without a hitch, it's just like
A miracle.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to the human race, it's I mean, Elon Musk just sent a freaking spaceship and then brought it back down and landed that thing and reusable. Like, oh my goodness. Like, you know how much debris is in our own atmosphere compared to the galaxy?
Right. Yeah. It's
So
nuts.
it's just insane. So you said you also did terrain races, right?
Yeah.
What were the other types of races?
So there was a race called Terrain Race. I think it still goes on. It's very small. It's I went in thinking it was going to be like a Spartan race, and it actually is a very, very, very. I'm not trying to badmouth the race. It's just a smaller race, and there's not that many obstacles, to be honest. It's they held it on maybe like a it was as big as like our high school track.
Oh wow.
It was not that big, and it was just one, maybe like 2 laps, 3 laps of that size, and it was more of like, this is just a fun thing to do on a Saturday. This isn't this isn't really a let's challenge ourselves and it's just like let's go do some obstacles today.
So kind of like a warm-up race.
Yeah, it was definitely a
Like,
warm-up race, and even if you compare the prize money from Spartan to Terrain, Spartan gives like thousands of dollars. They're ridiculous. They're the main OCR company, and Terrain Race. You even have those same elites from Spartan running these terrain races and winning them, but they're getting like $200. $100. It kind of shows
no
you the scale,
sponsorship kind of deal.
right? They're just like trying to get their name out there more. If you win those races, it's like, oh, okay, we kind of know who you are. You won maybe that race. But there was another race called Battle Frog, and they were kind of like I think they're Navy. The Navy created it, and they were starting to give their Spartan a run for their money, and they're more technical. Their obstacles were a lot different and a lot more technical and climbing and ropes and stuff. But somewhere I think within a few years I don't know if they went bankrupt or something, but somewhere along the line they lost it, and they've been gone for maybe, I want to say, 4 years now. And actually it just got announced that they're coming back, I think starting next year.
Oh,
But
okay.
we'll see. They're
Took a remission to, I guess, recover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, especially with new things, you see a few people try it out, and then one person really excels, and then it's like, oh, okay, then it becomes hard to compete because they become the gold standard. And so Spartan races are basically the gold standard then.
Yep.
Okay.
And they basically they started it all, and as soon as Spartan got maybe a few years in, that's when all these other people were like, oh, we should throw our own race up. We should, try to compete with them. And a lot of them are trying to differentiate themselves from Spartan, but a lot of them don't last just because it's they can't reach that caliber.
Exactly. That's tough. It's like trying to compete with Walmart,
Yeah.
especially in 2020. Ain't no one competing with Walmart.
Or like Amazon. Oh God.
Talk about the delivery services, cashing out. I know even now, whenever I go get my groceries, I just order it online, park, and then have them loaded in the trunk, back home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's benefits and cons to it. I mean, I love just sitting there taking my time. I never shop in a hurry.
Yeah.
I always make sure I have plenty of time because I'm not trying to get mad or, irritated with people just because they're taking a long time or everyone's in a rush all the time. I like to say I may be Russian, but I'm not Russian.
Stupid.
So it's I just, like you said, it's all about the experiences in life. So
Yeah.
even if it's just a trip to the store, that's an experience.
Yeah.
Most of the time you won't see the same exact people in there. You won't have the same exact uh, situations that show up in the store. Maybe one time there's a crazy homeless guy in there, harassing people, or next time maybe there's someone out there dressed as Santa. And so it's like you could go to the same exact location and it just feels 100% different.
Yeah. You'll never have the same experience twice. It's always an experience. It's always, it could even be your last, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's how different everything is. You don't even know, you could walk outside and not come back.
Yep. You could get hit by a squirrel, have rabies. You could step out in a curve with your headphones in too quick, get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
You just never know. That's why you got to appreciate every day and all the experiences that come with it.
Yeah. And it's all like, they're all growing experiences, it's always something that's going to shape who you are and who you become. So you always
It
got to
really is.
appreciate it.
It's a little fun fact about squirrels is literally every single day they have a 50-50% chance of living. Like that's their calculated odds. And it's as simple as running across the street at the wrong time,
Mm.
getting attacked by another predator, anything like that. But literally every single day of their existence is a coin flip. And it's like, okay, all of us are a 50-50 coin flip every single day. I mean, the only way that you could even say, oh, if I just stay inside and shelter myself, it's like, well, what if you have a heart attack? What if you go crazy and you did that too many days in a row and you just go manic, or
you slip
never
and fall in
what
the shower,
there's just so many things. And oh man, I remember that show on Spike, 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's just amazing to me that it's like, yeah, it really makes you understand how small everything is. All your little problems, all your little tiffs and grudges, everything. It's like, who even cares? Like there's so much more to worry about in life.
Yeah. We get caught up in the small details, and you don't appreciate the bigger, like the bigger view of things, the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to live in the micro, but there's macro as well, and then there's super micro. And it's like, so like what are we doing that we don't see?
Yeah.
That affect other things positively or negatively. Like with all the ozone damage that we do with all of our production, it's like they say that by the end of the century, sea levels are going to rise about 5 meters, which is about 19 feet. So size of a building, or at least a pretty big house. So it's like, okay, well, sooner or later, maybe California will end up underwater. Who knows?
Oh man! And a lot of people don't know that Monterey doesn't Monterey have the bigger canyon than the Grand Canyon in the ocean?
I believe so. Closer to like the big trenches, yeah.
Yeah. And it's nuts. What if what if all that becomes a giant canyon?
Yeah. And just keep extending that Mariana Trench, like so split us right in half. I don't know. It's I always used to like whenever when I was a kid, I thought it's like, okay, yeah, if you dig a hole, you can dig a hole straight to China. It's like, okay, no, you can't.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, unless you got a magma and you can survive the center of the earth, then yeah, maybe you can.
Hey, I'm sure sooner or later that's gonna happen.
I mean, dude, look at the things they can do now. They're fracking everywhere. They're able to extract all of these oils from deep in the earth, and it's like, what are they gonna do next? So apparently, Elon Musk is making the Neuralink. You heard about that?
No.
Basically, it's like a little device you attach to yourself back in your neck, and you can do things like telepathic communication. So like you don't have to speak; you can just read each other's minds. And,
What are we,
you
X-Men?
what the way he described it is that basically it increases your brain's broadband. So you can receive so much more information at the same time and be able to process it as you would without it. So you can just get exponentially smarter than someone without it,
Yeah.
exponentially. It's like, what?
That seems kind of dangerous at the same time, though. Like,
Mhm.
and like,
It
there's
sounds
just,
cool, but like
yeah,
you said, I don't know if I
like,
want everyone in my mind.
and just think of all the problems like that adds on too, because what if someone hacks into your Neuralink? What if, you know, your Neuralink fries and you die? Like, who gets sued? You know, all those problems arise with that.
Yeah, I mean, what happens if, like, say, an EMP goes off? Will it withstand that? And what happens if it does shut off? Do you lose everything that it helped you gain, or does it just overload your own system?
Right. Like, do we die? I mean, is it just the Neuralink that, you know, explodes or what? You know, there's just so many what ifs or what does this do? Seems
I
kind of
mean,
iffy.
but I mean, I'll leave that one up to Elon Musk, though. Like
Hey,
I
more
said, that
power to
guy
him.
sent a rocket ship up in the sky and brought it back safely. I'm like, okay, this guy knows a lot more than I do.
More power to
So
him.
yeah, it's pretty soon we're just gonna be living the 100, you know.
Ooh, I just finished that series. Did you finish it yet?
Did not. I was about to start it today too, and then I got wrapped up with a boxing pay-per-view, two MMA pay-per-views, uh, uh, two football games. It's like, oh, so much went on. Then I just went all the way to Monterey and back yesterday, one day. Um, setting up, getting everything ready down there.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, just such a crazy. And then I had 5 finals this week. It was such a crazy week.
Need
And
a break.
crazy semester. Yeah, I will never take 5 classes again.
Ooh.
That was too much. It was, and it's not that it was anything. It was just that all the classes were so far away from each other.
Yeah.
There was no continuity. It was like, okay, learn how to dance, now learn how to cook, now learn how to do physics. And it's like, okay, uh-oh.
Well, and isn't school like you're kind of teaching yourself now? Like this whole, you know, new way of learning is like, all right, well, here's the work. Go do it.
Read the book,
Yeah.
figure it out. And I just give you the test. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of laissez-faire. Just like, okay, you're on your own. You're an adult. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, wait, I
And
thought that's why I was here.
yeah, right. I
Help
thought
me
you were gonna
figure it
teach
out.
me.
And it's like, no, we're just here for a quick buck. We make a PowerPoint. That's it.
Yeah, oh
So
God, that's sounds horrible.
it's amazing. And you know what? That's the thing too about it's like, okay, you get a college degree and they're like, oh, well, you got no experience. Or, hey, you got all this experience, but you got no college degree. Or,
Yeah.
hey, you got both, but we don't like them in the time frame you're in.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like, how do you win?
no, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
It just seems like everything is nowadays. It doesn't matter if what you put into your body, who you vote for, who you do this with, who you do that with. It's like, well, you can't make everybody in the world happy. You just
Yeah.
can't.
No, you're
You just,
always gonna piss somebody off.
yep.
And like
That's how,
I think I read this quote, it's like if everybody likes what you're doing it wrong. So,
mm-hmm.
you know, let's take that for what it is.
That's amazing. I use that. But so I mean, dude, that's amazing. Just that sounds so fun. We're gonna have to get into that Spartan racing for sure. You got As long as you give me a Team Persona t-shirt,
Oh, hell yeah. As long as you rep it.
then I'm in. Oh, I'll wear it on the podcast.
Done deal. Done deal. You're in.
I'm see that's the thing that I want people to understand is hey, I'm not just here for my own personal satisfaction. Like if someone's doing something, if they have a team, if they have a company, if they have anything, it's like I want to help get the word out. You know,
Yeah.
talking to you and other people, it's a pleasure of mine. I do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that anyway. But I don't need a platform for myself to talk to people, you know, but I also want people to understand that, hey, there's other people in this world that are doing some awesome and cool things and, you know, experiment with them. So
Yeah.
go ahead and try it out. Like a couple of people from high school. I know one of them, you remember Asia Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently she started her own kind of business and right there on Broadway called, I think it's called Herbalife. So I'm gonna try to get her on here soon. I just got to get in touch with her.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like just spread the word about all of these experiences because I'm one person. I can't experience all of them, but
Yeah.
if I can just get a glimpse of what it's like and how you did it, because it takes a certain mindset to be able to do these things. And it's like, how does that compare to mine in not so much a competitive way, but as in like, okay, so what motivated them as compared to what motivated me, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, how did they look at the same exact issues or problems and obstacles, and how did they deal with them and overcome, or, you know, not overcome? It's it, it I just love understanding how kind of people work.
Yeah. And like you definitely want to like it's a whole different feeling when you're somebody that wants to elevate the people that you know and you want to like you want everybody to shine because you want everybody to succeed. You know,
Hmm.
you're a different kind of person when you are that way.
I did a lot of succeeding already, and I got plenty to go, but it's like, you know, like you said, that's not my motivation. It's,
Mm-hmm.
if this podcast never gets to the halfway to Joe Rogan's level, that'll be just fine with me. I'm
Right.
not after it for the other stuff. I'm after it for the experience, like a
Mm-hmm.
Spartan race, your first Spartan race, you know? It's like I do it because every time it makes me happy to talk to people, and I just want to pick people's brains, and I want them to pick mine.
Yeah.
And in 2020, what's probably the biggest thing that's gone away is face-to-face communication
Yeah.
and talking to people. Now it's just keyboard warriors going at it on Facebook, and it's like no one's allowed to have an opinion if it doesn't match your own, or it's like, no, we're all just, I guess you would say, snowflakes. Like we're all just unique individuals, even though there's only about 12 different kinds of snowflakes. So that's a big misconception, but they all look a little different. So
Yeah.
uh, so it's like, why would you cut yourself off to understanding and learning more? I just thirsty for knowledge, thirsty for, I don't know if I would call it understanding, but definitely just kind of like I said, is like live vicariously. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, so maybe people will convince me to look it down a different path that I never would have thought. Like I just signed up for a Spartan race, and I didn't even think about it before coming on this podcast. I was just like, oh,
You're
you
right.
talked me into it. So who knows where that goes? We'll find out.
Yeah.
To be continued.
You just like you like looking at different outlooks, like you and understanding different outlooks of, you know, what makes this person interested in this. You know, it's definitely that's the camaraderie. That's the yeah. I'm trying to find a different word to understanding because I feel like understanding is like it's similar, but it's not what I'm trying to grasp at. You know, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's the same boat, and I just can't find the right word for it. But maybe someone will someone will come along and tell me the right word one day, and I'll be like,
That was it. That was it.
yes, go back and plug it in. No.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's life's too crazy, life's too short to just not experience what you can. Like I said, it's these little microverses inside of
Mhm.
microverses and surrounded by other microverses. And it's like, I don't want to be stuck in one. I want to see how far across these cosmos I can go.
Yeah.
And so every sport, every industry, every uh, different opportunity that presents itself is its own multiverse in my opinion. I feel like the Flash. I go from Earth 1 to Earth 2 to Earth 3, and and just everything's the same but a little different. And
Yeah,
those little differences are, what we live for.
definitely.
And so you said also something about an anime show that you were gonna star in.
No, no, I'm not starring in. So there's a show called Neon Lights. I guess with the whole COVID shutting down productions on everything acting, um, the whole shelter in place, this guy named Clayton, he he really wanted to still be artistic, but with everything being shut down, he went back to writing and went back to just developing a couple of characters, and then it developed a story, and he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna turn this into an animated show. And I was not even in this picture. I stumbled upon this in the weirdest way. So I posted a picture of a promo picture for one of my Power Ranger series,
Mhm.
and this account liked it. Neon Lights Cast, that's what the account is called. And they just randomly liked my photo, and I was like, okay, let me click on them and see what they're about. And it was an animated series coming in 2021, and they had maybe like 40 followers at the time. And I was like, hey, that's awesome. Let me know if you guys have any auditions for anything. Like, I'd love to be a part of this project. And he was like, hey, we actually have one of our main actors might have to drop his role because he's moving out of state. But if you're interested, we'll have you audition. And I was like, cool, that sounds great. Let me know. I ended up not getting the role, but I guess he really liked my audition, and he wanted to bring me on as like a support, in whatever aspect that may be. And they're actually filming, or I should say recording, their final audio tomorrow. They filmed last weekend and this weekend. But I was actually, let's just say hypothetically, I did get that role. I would have been in Houston right now, um, recording the audio. Um, but jump to, I guess now, their fan base has grown up to like 1,200 plus followers and still growing. Um, and it's going to be like a YouTube show with 49 episodes, releasing one a week, starting in, I want to say, April 2021.
Oh wow.
And I get to be, I guess I'm not allowed to say like what my role is or whatever I'm in, but I'm in it in some aspect. But if it gets popular enough, he wants to bring me on to year two.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely keep me in the loop on what happens with that.
For
Uh,
sure.
See, anytime you got a release date or something for me, I'll go ahead and share it around.
Appreciate that.
Because I'm excited to watch what you said. And you mentioned something about Power Ranger series.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been a Power Ranger fan since freaking what, 90, 94, whatever, 95.
Since the womb.
You're right. Exactly. Like, I heard the theme song in the womb. But I for years I was just kind of like, it'd be cool to have a suit. Just to have a suit and maybe just, whatever cosplay I wasn't thinking about actually making a series, and I ended up getting a suit made, and the whole thing. And I was like, you know what, I have a good idea for to branch off one of the existing Power Rangers series, and it was coming together. The writing is great. I shouldn't say the writing is great. That sounds very arrogant. The idea is great, and I guess my weakest link right now is having like a team um, to bring it to life. Because right now it's like it's me and like two other actors and maybe like the cinematographer, and that's all we got. So right now it's COVID shut it down because obviously can't go out, can't film, can't be in groups of whatever. So right now I'm just trying to do my hardest to like get all the props, get all the details of the script written, everything hammered out. I'm trying to prepare everything so that as soon as our lockdown and hopefully COVID starts to pick up and go away, that we can just start there and just go. But
Mhm.
about Power Rangers Jungle Fury, so um I am going to make a story about one of the Rangers' his son, and maybe like, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Just a future
Hey,
series.
don't don't say more than you need to, but
Yeah,
oh, that sounds awesome. I can't wait. You need someone to get punched and thrown around, man. I'll be your crash dummy.
dude, I need
I
people that can fight, and that's what, you're perfect because you know how to. First of all, you know how to fight. Second of all, you know how to like fake fight. So that's
Mhm.
yeah. I need people that can look like they've taken a hit.
Let me know any way I can help. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to. Like I said, I'll be in that area very soon, so it'll be real easy.
Perfect. You're in.
Look at that, everybody. See, good things happen coming from conversation.
hmm
And it's like, okay, you don't have to just be mean to everybody you meet online. You can just actually talk to people, and
Yeah.
good things happen. But that'd be awesome. I don't mind helping you out in any way, even if it's just picking up trash around the set. I always got your back. We when did we meet? It was fifth grade,
Fifth
right?
grade.
And I first moved to Monterey from
hmm
Fresno. And I was just one of my biggest things was watching Power Rangers, Pokemon, and WWF wrestling back when it was still called WWF.
Yep.
So uh, we both had a common favorite wrestler in Jeff Hardy for the longest time, and so ever since then the kinship was born.
Yeah. 20 years, dude. 20 years.
It doesn't even feel like it, does it?
In some aspects, yeah, but not really. Like, for so long we think that time dreads on, and then definitely within like the last 10 years, time has just been flying.
Yes, it's there's a good Kenny Chesney song called "Don't Blink." And it's like, yeah, because as soon as you blink, it's like you miss 10 years of your life. You're like, oh, whoa, I wake up and I'm 25, and then all of a sudden, you know, eat a birthday cake, it's 45. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's like, what happened? But so like I say, it's well, time's man-made anyways. So
Yeah. Time is a construct.
so the universe didn't make it naturally, so who knows? Some fat dude eating grapes named Julius Caesar just made a calendar.
This is what day it is. Okay. Everyone follow it. We'll be just
You,
fine.
you see that big ball in the sky? Yeah, that tells us what day it is.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to call this day. And when it goes down, it's night. Got that?
Night. Like, who came up with the terms day and night? Like, I'd be interested to learn. I gotta look that up now. But
See
it's like,
the
why did they
questions.
name it day? Why did they name it night? Is that just kind of, does night kind of mean dark, and day means light. Like, where do you derive these terms from? I want to pick their brain.
Yeah.
If I had a time machine, I'd just go back and talk to everybody I could. Cleopatra, King Tut, who's like 12, man, and running a whole Europe empire. And it's like,
You're not scared of changing history on accident?
nah,
You're gonna Bill and Ted it?
I'm a Bill and Ted it. Yep. I'll just be like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
Go back and make instead of Lulu, it'd be like Alexei.
Oh God.
No, see, it just doesn't work that way. I can't go back and change time. It doesn't fit.
It's
I could place myself in the past, but I keep it low key.
you know, it makes me wonder, like, would time ever go forward if we could time travel backwards?
Right? Like it just snapshots forward, but would we even realize it in the present? You know, if
That's true. Like, would we just remember what we only know back then?
yeah, it's or would that just be completely erased and implanted with new ones before we even knew what happened? It's like you're going over to knock on someone's door, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know this person.
Yeah. Why am I even here? How did I even get here?
Oh man, crazy. Like the movie Back to the Future, you know, almost wiped himself out of existence.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, oh, well, could I do that? It's like, because I don't want to. Why even risk it?
Yeah. That's nah, we'll leave that to the movies.
But what happens if you take someone from the past and bring them to the future? Does that
It erases history.
does it though? But what if like their history of them ends there? Like okay, they're like, okay, well they disappeared, they died. And then but in our future, they're changing it. So what happens in that
So,
gap period? Just stays the same?
but like, it's like who invented the light bulb? If they didn't invent the light bulb back then, and you bring them to the future, like that gap of history, did they ever invent the light bulb?
No.
So are we? I mean, you bring them to the future, and then we're in darkness still. Like, and then they make the light bulb in like 2020. It'd be a very dark time. It'd be the real dark times.
As long as it's not the dark year, right?
Hey, it would still be. Oh God, ugh, no, not that.
No blood raining in this house. I'll tell you that. You better take that over there to the grounder side.
Oh, God. Hey, you
People
gotta,
don't
you
know
gotta
what
eat.
we're talking about. We're talking about the CW show, The 100.
Hey, it's a good show. It just ended. Alex still needs to catch up on the last season.
And semester ended. I got to catch up on the newest episodes of the newest Pokemon series. I got to catch up on the 100, Agents of Shield, The Boys. I got
Oh, dude,
a
I gotta catch up on those
slew.
too. I just finished Supernatural. Like Supernatural just ended a month ago, dude.
Six. Now I had another one. I stopped watching whenever what was it? Jack. What's his
Lucifer's
name?
son.
Lucifer. Yeah, his half his son ish thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, I've watched that show since I was 15. Since we were 15, I was watching that show. And it just ended a
Arrow.
month ago. Oh, Arrow too. I was watching that for 8 years.
Me and George are still broke that it's over. George took it harder than I did though. But Oliver Queen, that's his idol. That's his guy right there.
Yeah.
I can't blame him because like if I was a superhero, it'd have to be in the DC universe. It's a little too gritty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. If I was a Marvel character, I think it's a toss up between Star-Lord or Deadpool, who I would actually be, like my personality wise.
That's definitely, so you're definitely the jokester.
Yes, but also get it done. That's why I think probably Deadpool more because I'm a true martial artist compared to Star-Lord.
Yeah, I can see that. I see that. I see Deadpool more than Star-Lord. But Star-Lord's definitely more of the, I wouldn't say he's more grounded than Deadpool.
Charismatic.
More realistic, I guess. Well, I mean, as realistic as you can get as a
Yeah, it's like one guy
superhero.
lives in space and as a thief, and another guy just is immortal. It's like,
Yeah.
if you ask
So
me which one I'd rather be,
yeah,
I'd
the
probably be
immortal.
more immortal. Yeah. I mean, hey, it may get lonely, but think about how long this podcast would go on. Series, I'd be on episode 275 billion.
Yeah. And be like, well, now the world is on fire and I'm still interviewing people.
And we're doing it right until the violins start playing on the Titanic.
Like, hey, we don't got any more violinists. They all burned. Well, I guess you start learning how to play violin. See?
I mean, I was in band for a long time. I know someone who plays the violin very well. Do you remember Peter Jung?
Yes. Oh
Yes,
God, it's been a while.
his sister Sarah Jung. I mean,
I remember Sarah.
World class violinist to be back in high school. So I could only imagine how good she is now.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Man, you
she.
said Peter Jung, and I was like, we go back with Peter back to 6th grade, right? Like back to middle school. Man, that was a like, oh wow, like Peter Jung. Oh yeah, Peter.
Yeah, that was like George's best friend for forever.
Mhm.
It's just it's amazing, right? Last I heard of him, he was on the swim team in San Diego State and doing some
Snap.
big things. It's just amazing to catch up with everybody.
Yeah.
And I just wish there was more time. Like I said, if I was on episode 200 billion, blah blah blah, I still feel it wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
It's that's why I don't even number them. I just hey, it's another one. It's a new episode. It's a new experience. It's a new
Yeah.
conversation. It's new ideologies and different things. So, a little spoiler alert, since you gave me a couple spoiler alerts today, I will be starting a new branch off of this podcast. And that one's going to be more about interviewing everybody instead of just athletes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I love athletes. I love, these conversations. But like you said, we could talk about other things too. I don't want to paint myself in a corner.
Yeah.
I want to talk to everybody. I don't care if you're a pilot, if you're the person who puts the planes together, if you're a scientist, if you're a musician, if you're an actor, an actress, if you're a waitress at Denny's, That's just,
Yeah.
as long as you got a story to tell, I want to hear it. And
Definitely.
your story's been awesome, man. I
Appreciate
commend
that.
you on just keeping the grind going. And just remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. It's if you can do well in a Spartan race, I think you can make it through COVID and this 2020 year, and as soon as everything starts presenting itself, you'll be able to take full advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like that you said that. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I've never heard that. Like that's a really good. I'm stealing that one.
Good. It's a philosophy of mine. It's like, it doesn't matter how. It really doesn't. Uh, Everything turns back around eventually, and it could be a 5-minute drought. It could be a 5-year drought. It could be a 50-year drought. But at a certain point, the sun rises again, and
Yeah.
new day. It's a new opportunity, and you just got to stop making the same mistakes you made before. And it just takes learning from a mistake to grow and
Exactly. Growing.
understanding that it's a mistake. It's nobody's perfect. You can't if you show me someone who says they're perfect, I'll show you a liar. There's
Yeah.
no such thing as perfection. There's only chasing perfection.
Yeah.
And as long as you can accept that, then you're going to be pretty good in life, because
Definitely.
you always know that there's an unattainable goal to chase. The grind's never going to stop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you also know it's okay if you don't reach it.
Yeah, you got to be at peace with that. You have to be at peace with that. You just have to know that you did your best and you put everything you had into it.
And at the end of the day, your value is your effort. You get out of it what you put in. So if you put in half-ass stuff, you're gonna get half-ass results.
Yeah.
But if you give everything your all, it's hard not to succeed.
Yeah. And it's hard not to be happy with yourself. If you know you gave it your all, then you can feel that, you can accept that that's is what it is. You did everything that you possibly could, and it's hard not to be happy with that. And you can beat
And
yourself up, but that won't last.
I think a lot of the things that make people unhappy is they try to compare themselves to everybody else. It's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You're your own person. You need to do it for you. Once you do it for you, then you can be happy. But if you're trying to say like, oh, this guy makes more money than me, or man, screw that guy, he's more successful, or man, this lady over here, told me stuff that I didn't know and I didn't like it. Like, well, tough.
Yeah.
Just tough. Deal with it, learn from it, grow, and you'll be a better person than you were the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And then happiness follows. You can't chase happiness. Happiness finds you.
Oh, that is definitely a true statement. Can't be more true than that.
Just thought of it too. So if someone else in the world quoted it before me, then you know what? Whatever. I thought of it myself. I didn't know.
It was birthed here. Okay.
We'll put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Team Persona. Happiness finds you.
Oh, God. I'll pitch it to the team.
May need a few tweaks. By the time it's done, it's going to be a whole new script.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Get the ball rolling. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Hardest thing in anything to do in life is to start. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Start. I think about whenever I first thought about starting this podcast. It feels like forever ago, but shoot, it's only like 4 or 5 months ago. It was April. So it's like, wow, I just look back at it already and I'm just like, hey, it's been so fun. It's been so entertaining and so interesting, just learning new things and talking to people and looking at things in a different lens than I normally have. It's like, oh, this is why I did it, because it's fun, And if you enjoy something, everything else will follow. It's just, you got to be true to yourself. And you're a prime example of that, You always knew, kind of in the back of your mind, the direction you wanted to go in, and, and you always knew certain things wouldn't be a possibility. But you also learn that, hey, sometimes it's just timing.
Yeah.
So like you said, not being able to pass the strength part of these things. And then the next time you knew what to expect and you understood what you needed to do it, and you got it done.
Yep.
And then the results showed. So that's amazing, and that kind of perseverance is, just one of the things I idolize about you, man. It's put yourself through these stressful situations just to test the person that you are. And then if you don't like it, you go back and you make sure that you become the person that you want to be. A lot of people just get discouraged. They don't like themselves after, and they keep that self-loathing. But that's why I love athletes, is because we never take failure as a reason why we can't do better.
Yeah.
Just look at it as the motivation rather than the discouragement. So I commend you, but definitely your acting roles. I can't wait. Send me the other names of the ones that you already, that are ready for that I could watch, so that way I
Okay.
can watch them very soon.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have a lot of hotel staying to do pretty quick here, so I'm gonna need something to watch. So make sure you keep me updated on that.
For sure.
And like I said, I'll make sure to spread the word out whenever these new shows and movies end up dropping.
Appreciate that.
And man, we're gonna have to do another one after you drag me through my first
Oh, I can't
Spartan race.
wait for that one. Oh my God.
You can let everyone know and be like, oh yeah, you know, he ain't bullet BSing you. What was it like on the movie Role Models? You can't BS the BSer.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that movie.
They're all so good. There's so many good movies that it's like you can't even compare them anymore.
Yeah.
I remember when there was like 5 good comedies, and now there's just like 5 million good comedies.
It's just everybody's got their own studio now, You got you got so many different platforms doing their own shows. It's like it's such a good time to be an actor and it's such a bad time to be an actor. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, if it just lasts 1 or 2 years, that's just a small amount of time. If anything, it just gives you time to sit back, reflect, and self-evaluate, and just know, hey, where do I need to grow? Hey, let me rewatch some of these old ones and what could I have done better, and start implementing them and have time to practice them. Then once that opportunity strikes, you're like, hey, I'm ready. I prepared,
Yep.
and all you can do is prepare the best you can.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say hope for the best, but shoot for the best,
Yeah.
Nah, not me. I shoot from the hip. But that's the redneck in me. Half redneck, half Russian. So,
Yeah.
hey, just fire from the hip and then drink some vodka after. I don't know. Slip and slide.
Oh, God.
Slide down the ice. No, honestly, when it comes to the cold, man, I don't do cold water. I don't, I'm a whiskey guy. I don't.
You don't like cold water? Like regular drinking cold water?
Oh, well, yeah, drink cold water, but like swimming in cold water.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
So if it's 105 degrees outside and that water's still a little cold, I won't get in it. I hated ice. Ice baths were torture for me. Oh no. I just take ice packs. Not dipping myself so in ice cold water. I know. That's probably why I hurt every day.
Okay.
I got my body smashed for 15 years, It's
well, yeah, I mean that'll
lucky
do
to be
it.
walking. I feel lucky to be walking and just every crack, It's, but that's why I need to find a new niche that I can do, and especially with my disability, my eyes. So I need something where getting punched in the head not an option. So, but I can still push myself and thrive.
It might be it.
It might be, and you'll never get my wife out there though. You will never see her out there.
You say that, and I will tell you this right now. I've maybe like a third of my team, all of them were like, I will never do one of those. Even if it took me years to convince them, I still got them out there. And I mean, like, there were people that were very adamant, like, you'll never get me in one of those. Never. They ended up doing them. So
I
say that
believe it.
now.
I believe it. But I can't even get her to walk literally down the street to my mother's house. It's like a 3-minute walk. So it's like, hey, we'll have to see. That'll be the ultimate test.
And you said that you want to go to the Chicago Stadium. They actually have stadium races.
Up and down the bleachers. Oh, That just
Dude,
reminds me of the good old days. Bear
the
crawling
whole
up the sound
stadium.
dune,
Mhm.
up there. But I also, the thing that I hated the most about running in my life was that it was just repetitive motion after repetitive motion.
Mhm.
Switch it up. It's like say boxing, you throw your jab, your jab, your jab, your jab, your jab, your jab. Sooner
Mhm.
or later you're gonna get tired of throwing the jab.
Oh yeah.
But you mix it up. That's why I did mixed martial arts and not just boxing or not just Muay Thai.
Mhm.
I just made sure that I like to do everything in one.
Yeah.
So that's what a Spartan race sounds like, and that sounds fun to me. Hey, 4 miles isn't that far if you're having fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I've walked further at night in the cold, in the rain, and doing not fun things. So it'd be a lot funner to do some fun things that, challenge myself.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
You heard it here first.
You heard
Alex
it
is
here
doing a
first.
race next year.
And if not, Nico's gonna blast me forever for it. So I can't
Oh
let
yeah.
that happen.
Oh yeah. Until he gets into one, I'm gonna blast him.
Oh yeah. So you're definitely signing me up. And hey, maybe one day we'll travel together and go do one in say Chicago or somewhere nice.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
maybe you just need me there with you in Iceland to go see the Northern Light.
Hey, be the lucky charm. If you bring out the lights, I'm there.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure. I like when the lights are on me. I thrive. You do too, or you
I do
wouldn't be
too.
acting.
Oh, I definitely do. Live theater is a whole different ball game. Oof.
And live theater. What kind of shows have you done? Which production?
Ooh. See, that's a longer list than the movies or than the
I
film.
would say your highlight, maybe.
Let's see. My most recent one. Did you ever watch the movie Newsies? That old like newspaper boy. It's probably a
Mm-mm.
young like Christian Bale was the main character. Young
Oh
Christian
wow.
Bale. Um
Mm.
Newsies. I mean, I can name just like shows that I'll name shows that you know. Like I was in Greece.
Mm.
I was in Hairspray.
Mhm.
Um, my first show was High School Musical.
Amazing. Zac Efron Jr. over here.
Oh God, no! I was one of those little kids in the back because I was not confident at singing and not I was fresh to theater and nah. But
I think that would be the hardest part too. Is if you're not a good singer, and it's like me, I'm out here breaking windows because people are throwing rocks at me through them. So I'm not a singer, but hey, I I will on drunk karaoke night.
on drunk karaoke, you got more guts than I do. I think I've done karaoke maybe twice in my entire life, but like I can get on stage in front of an audience and sing no problem. But like I can't do karaoke. Like I don't think I don't know. There's something about it. I just get way more nervous or I just don't think I sound as good. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it is because that's the opposite for me. I'm like, I do okay at karaoke, but it's like, oh no, if you record me doing that, then I'm like, oh okay. Because I think I feel it has to be perfect. And I
Yeah.
think it's the same with you, but you're used to, having to make sure that you do it very well, uh, as compared to karaoke where you can just let loose. You can just be
Right.
yourself. It's like you're not, the lights aren't on you. It's a small room, with some people who, just like, hey, that guy's braver than me.
Right. Yep.
um, so I feel like one's more of an accepting crowd and it's not so crucial.
Yeah.
So, but I think that you're one of the people that need that crucial part of it to succeed.
Yeah.
Like they say, diamonds, or pressure makes diamonds, but they also burst pipes. So it's like you're the kind of person who, when pressure gets on, start making diamonds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's got to be a diamond, all right? Good.
Hmm Uh, that's how I feel. It's like I love the pressure. Challenge me, push me
Hmm.
to heights I've never been to, because it'd make a great story one
Yeah.
day.
And you don't know how that story is going to help somebody else.
Exactly. There's a lot of people who have the same questions in life, and you never know if you're the one who will be able to answer them. That's
Hmm.
why you should never just shut people out. You should never just, uh, you know, shrug one person off because they're not to your liking, because you never know. One day,
Yeah.
maybe that guy that, you gave $5 to, who really truly needed it, starts his own company and becomes very successful. And,
Hmm.
like, think about the people that helped Steve Jobs. Think about the people who helped start the founder of Amazon. You
Yeah.
know, it you never know what a little kindness can do for somebody. And like, at the end of the day, we all just want a little kindness, a little respect,
Yeah.
and enough to where it's like, hey, don't hurt me, don't rob me, and don't kill me. other
Yeah,
than
that's the
that,
minimum.
other than that, it's like the rest is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But oh man, so you got big plans for this Christmas?
We actually were gonna go see my girls. I haven't met her mother yet. We've been together 2 years and I haven't met her mother. Like I've met her mother, on a phone call, just not in person. And it's a different thing.
It is.
Uh, we were gonna go, but with the whole lockdown, it's kind of too much right now.
Are they in the same area, or they live further away?
Her mom lives in LA,
Okay,
so
so
not too
so
far,
in
but
between.
yeah,
That's not bad. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's just meeting people for the first time. That you want to accept you is always nervous, but all you gotta do is be yourself, and they'll love you.
yeah.
How could they
I'm
not?
I'm looking forward to it. It's just funny how for 2 years, something's always been going on to where we can't go to LA for 2 years. And I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's timing. But hey, uh, you know, things get sweeter with time. So it'll just make that moment that much more memorable. You'd be like, oh, it it took a whole pandemic in order, but I finally met you.
Yep.
So that's good. Um, yeah, definitely keep in touch with me about
Oh, for sure.
your upcoming stuff. And like I said, if there's anything I can do for you, you just let me know. I'll get it done.
Sounds good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. And like I said, you're gonna sign me up for a race.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
we're gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna come back on, talk about the experience, and that way I can let you all know if Nico's telling me the truth or if he's just trying to sell me some sugar coated shit. No, no, but it definitely sounds interesting. But yeah, and I will be in touch because I will be back in the area very soon and need things to do. So
Yeah. Sounds great,
definitely
man.
get together, and I'll cook for you and your lady, and
Ooh.
me and my wife will have you over and all that good stuff. So
Looking forward to it.
it'll be fun. But other than that, I think that's gonna wrap the interview portion of it.
Cool.
Hang on for a minute. We'll talk some more after. But I want to thank everybody for having Nico Abiera into not only your home, your ears, but also your heart. So make sure you keep a lookout for his work. I will be keeping you updated with all of his acting stuff. But I want to thank you for coming on and explaining to me about Spartan races and persuading me. So anything you'd like to say? Where can people get in contact with you and stuff? So
Um, well, thank you for having me, Alex, for one.
of course, had to.
You, Nico Abiera, just search me on Facebook, or Nico Instagram, Nico underscore meets underscore world, a play on Boy Meets World, because 90s kid here. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. We'll get you guys in a race, or come see when theater opens up again. Come see one of my shows.
Can't wait. Definitely one of the art forms that I've grown more appreciation to is the theater. So I can't wait. I'll definitely be there, and I encourage everybody else to go as well. So whenever those come up, you just let me know. We'll get the word out. We'll get a packed house for you.
We'll do, bro.
And so I like to end every single episode with a random fact. So just in case people who listen didn't have fun or anything, at least they'll learn something new. So you ready for a random fact?
Let's go.
So there is only 2 mammals on the planet that like spicy food.
Humans?
That is humans. And can you guess what other mammal likes spicy food?
Nope.
You won't get it. It is the tree shrew. It's like a
The tree
kind of
shrew.
like a
It's like a sand shrew.
yeah, it's kind of more like a reptile, kind of like a lizardish in a way, or no, actually, like a tiny squirrel.
Wait, so is it not reptilian?
No, it's not reptilian. I
Okay.
looked at that wrong. It looks more kind of like a little a tree mouse,
And they like spicy foods.
and they like spicy food. All
All
the
right
other
then.
animals don't like it. So if a tree shoe's ever attacking you, throw it a jalapeno.
Tree shrews and humans. Never would have guessed that.
I don't think anybody would have, and that's why it's a random fact. You learned something new today, so enjoy tree shoes. But all right, so I'm gonna close this out here. So everybody, Nico Abiera here. Make sure you go follow him and look forward to all of his works. And if you need to know any more information about trying to enter a Spartan race, go ahead and let me know, and I'll get you in contact with them if not. So everybody, I want to appreciate your time and have yourselves a great day.
Peace.